One moment, you're here. The next, you're not. What happens after we die? Is there something, or is there simply nothing? We're all heading toward the great unknown. But before that, how about hitting subscribe for science? And stick around till the very end. We've got a special bonus section that dives into some surprising facts you won't want to miss. At The Thinking Point, we explore the strange, the profound, and the often overlooked. And today, we're diving into one of humanity's oldest and most mysterious questions: what really happens after we die? When does death actually begin? Is it the last breath, the final heartbeat, or something deeper we can't quite see? Scientifically, death begins when the heart stops beating, oxygen stops flowing, the brain shuts down. In 20 to 30 seconds, consciousness fades. Within minutes, brain activity ceases, and the body starts to break down. Some studies show spikes in brain activity after clinical death, a sudden burst of neural fireworks, surges of energy right after the heart stops. Could this be the brain's final act, a dying system flickering before it fades, or something more? Some scientists call it the last gasp of consciousness. Others suggest it might be a hidden window of awareness, a brief moment when the mind becomes hyper-aware, detached from the body, but still awake. Could this explain near-death experiences? The visions, the tunnels, the feelings of peace? Or is it something we don't understand yet, a glimpse into a state of being we've never returned from? For now, all we have is speculation, and a mystery that begins when everything else ends. Thousands have reported near-death experiences, feelings of deep peace, moving through tunnels, seeing radiant lights, and even meeting long-lost loved ones. For many, these moments feel more real than reality itself, a glimpse of something beyond. Neurologists suggest this could be caused by chemicals, a flood of endorphins, a lack of oxygen, or a final surge of dreamlike brain activity. A comforting illusion created in our last moments. But skeptics ask, if the brain is clinically dead, how do these vivid, coherent experiences occur? How can a brain with no measurable activity produce such clarity? Are these just echoes of a shutting system, or signals from somewhere else? A survival mechanism, a hallucination, or a door briefly opening before it quietly shuts again? For now, we don't know, but for many who've experienced it, it felt like something real, more real than life itself. Philosophers like Epicurus believed death isn't scary because we won't be there to experience it. It's not pain, it's not darkness, it's nothing, and nothing can't hurt you. You won't float, you won't burn, you simply won't. No more thoughts, no fear, not even silence. It's the absence of everything, including the one who fears it. If consciousness is nothing more than neurons firing in the brain, then death is the final shutdown. The screen goes black, no thoughts, no awareness, no you, just silence. But what if consciousness is something more, something deeper than biology, not just a side effect of neurons, but a feature of the universe itself? A fundamental force, like gravity or time, not created by the brain but filtered through it. Then maybe, when the brain stops, consciousness doesn't. Maybe it changes, maybe it returns to something larger, or maybe it simply moves on. Some thinkers even argue reality is a simulation. If so, could death be logging off, rebooting, jumping servers, or waking up in another program entirely? Wild, maybe, but no wilder than life itself. After all, we don't remember logging in. We just opened our eyes and things were already running. So who's to say what happens when we hit exit? Almost every religion across continents and centuries imagines something beyond death, something more than just an ending. In Christianity, death isn't the end but a doorway. The soul is judged, rewarded with heaven or cast into hell based on one's deeds and faith, an eternal afterlife, either in light or in fire. In Hinduism, death is just a chapter. The soul, or Atman, is reborn again and again through the endless wheel of samsara until liberation, moksha, is achieved, a cycle of lives, each shaped by karma. Buddhism shares this idea of rebirth, but without a permanent self. Instead, what moves forward is a stream of consciousness shaped by intentions. The goal? Freedom from suffering and union with nirvana, a release from the cycle itself. In Islam, death begins a journey. There's a reckoning, a judgment of one's faith and actions, then either paradise, a garden of peace, or punishment. Even outside these traditions, humans long for continuation. Some believe the soul moves on to other planes, other dimensions. Not an end, but a transition, a quiet drift through unseen worlds, passing through realms of thought, memory, maybe even time itself. Searching for purpose, for peace, or simply for what's next. Others believe we dissolve into something greater, a collective soul, a cosmic whole, a universal consciousness. Whatever the shape, one thing remains clear. Across time and culture, we refuse to believe that death is the end of the story. Outside organized religion, many still believe something continues, a higher energy, a great consciousness, or even a return to nature, not as an ending, but as a renewal. Death, in this view, isn't the end, but transformation, a shift in form, not in essence, like a wave returning to the ocean, like a leaf falling, then feeding the tree. Some speak of merging with the universe, not as a person, but as presence, a drop dissolving back into the vastness it came from. It's not about judgment, or reward, or rebirth, but about reconnecting with everything, a quiet homecoming to the source of all things. Science offers clues. Philosophy gives frameworks. Religion offers hope. But the truth is, no one knows. Maybe that's what gives death its power. Maybe that's what gives life its meaning. Alright, before we wrap up, here's that bonus section we promised. A few surprising ideas about what happens after death that don't get talked about enough. After you die, your atoms don't disappear. They're recycled into air, earth, plants, and even stars. In fact, the iron in your blood was forged in a star that exploded billions of years ago. And someday, the atoms that make you up might become part of someone or something else. So even if your story ends, the particles that wrote it continue on. What happens after we die? We don't know, but maybe the question itself is what keeps us human. It humbles us, it connects us, and it pushes us to live, love, and seek meaning while we're still here. Thanks for watching, and see you at the next Thinking Point.